I never thought I'd be telling this story, but here goes. It was the summer of my 15th year, and I was visiting my cousins in Ras Al Khaimah. The heat was unbearable, like living inside an oven set to broil. During the day, the temperature would soar to 48 degrees Celsius, but at night, the desert air would cool, offering a brief respite from the relentless heat. Our days were filled with idle chatter and the hum of air conditioners. One night, my cousins suggested we go for a run to the only store in our area. The night air was a balm after the scorching day, and we set off with high spirits.
Let's take a shortcut.
I should have known better. We veered off the main path, our feet kicking up small clouds of desert dust. In the distance, I could make out the silhouette of an old abandoned house. As we got closer, I could see the walls were crumbling, trees growing wild inside.
They say an old woman died here. She's still buried inside.
A shiver ran down my spine despite the warm night air. Before I could process what was happening, I found myself alone in the darkness. My cousins had vanished, their laughter fading into the night. The silence was deafening. I could hear my own heartbeat echoing off the walls. The air inside the house was thick with dust and the musty smell of abandonment. With shaking hands, I pulled out my lighter and some papers I had in my pocket. I made a makeshift torch, the flame casting eerie shadows on the walls. Every creak and groan of the old house made me jump. I could swear I heard whispers in the darkness, just beyond the reach of my light. As I stumbled through the house, I saw flashes of movement in my peripheral vision. But every time I turned to look, there was nothing there. Finally, I saw a glimmer of moonlight through a broken window. I practically fell out of the house in my haste to escape. I set the haunted house on fire. We ran home, fear of consequences replacing our earlier bravado. That night, I tossed and turned, haunted by visions of ghostly flames and shadowy figures. The next day, the whole village was abuzz. The sheikh announced arsonists had been caught, real arsonists. We had narrowly escaped being blamed for a crime we didn't commit. I felt a mix of relief and lingering fear, the events of the night still fresh in my mind. Years later, I still think about that night in the desert, about how quickly a harmless prank can spiral into something much darker. And I wonder, what if there really was something in that house? Something that's still there, waiting in the shadows for the next unsuspecting visitor.